Here I have a loop that I made just to show you the whole process. I'll play it over with some pads and basses just to give you an idea of how everything comes together, and then I'll go over each individual mixer channel to show you a little bit how it all affects everything. And yeah, so let's see how this sounds. Alright, so we will start with the upper section first. So the first effects are phaser and just a little bit of reverb. There's also some EQing here and a limiter, but this is mostly depending on other sounds that we got. So there's just a phaser, some stereo. The reverb has like really low damp and decay. This is wet, and now let's see how it sounds without all of these. And with it. So the next one we have here. Let's see it without. In this one I'm using texture. In this case it's basically changing it up into a noise with chorus. There's some filtering going on and so on. Then we have some serum effects. Here's another chorus and hyperdimension, and then there's just some EQing and again a limiter. The next section is the bottom one. Let's turn it all on. Here we have first reverb, and here we have more damp, but again there's not that much. I'm controlling it here, and it just opens it up a little bit at the end, but there's a filter as well, so it's not that noticeable. Again we have this, a little bit of EQ, some reverb. Now the thing is, a lot of these percussions here are already processed from sample packs, so they already have stuff like flangers and so on them. But again, if we turn it off without the filters and everything, there's a bit of a difference, especially if we check this section. Where we have the vocoder, and with it it's really important to use stuff like rimshots in general, and maybe keys and various metallic transients. So in this case we have some rimshots, and in this multipass, again, there's basically the same stuff, you know, chorus, flangers, and I automated here with an LFO, just the stereo effect a bit. And a good example of this would also be, I placed here to show you, is here's a dry rim shot. And let's see how it is on this channel. Maybe the other ones as well. After I made this this loop with one shots, which basically altogether sounds like this. The next part I added some claps. These are just from the previous month's samples. There's also a vinyl layer underneath. This is also on the same channel as the filter, so if we just solo this out. And after that I recorded the upper section, so this one above. And basically resampled it on the same mixer track with texture and the serum effects. And I also recorded the bottom section and used it a little bit differently by just basically moving it for 2 bars. So there's like the whole thing is rolling even more, you know, especially in this part here, for example, together with these ones above. And yeah, at this point, you know, I'm pretty satisfied with this loop. So what I would do next is record all of this together into its own drums. And add it to the next sample pack. One last thing that you might notice is the sidechain I'm using. I have 3 different layers, but mostly I'm just using this one, which is the loudest. And if we press play and check the mixer channels, you will see a few percussions being linked to the kicks.